finally got a hot day, man. It's nice. We've had 2 good days of work. I think our guys are focused. And I think anytime with young people, when you start having a little bit of success, I think you can build off of it. I think they kind of see the fruits of their labor last Saturday, and we've had 2 good spirited workouts. Questions?
You started this using 2 quarterbacks thing. Have you ever done anything like this, moving guys in and out as much?
No, I really haven't. And it's kind of what it is right now. If one guy separates himself, then we'll play one. But right now, I think the best opportunity for us to play well on offense and for us to win is kind of playing both those guys.
Why did you decide to go that route as opposed to Max gets these series?
Yeah, because they're different. You know what I mean? I think it's really harder on defense. I kind of asked our defensive guys, and they practice different things. Jalen really practices everything as the backup, and Max has most of the game plan that he practices, and then Jalen's got special things. And we practice kind of rolling them in and out, so they were used to it by the time game time came on Saturday.
Were you worried that would mess with the tempo and the pace that you're trying to get going?
Well, if you pay attention, most of I didn't mean not that you weren't paying attention. I didn't mean to implicate that. But we did it a lot on dead balls. So whether it was a first down or an incomplete pass, our first play of the drive is kind of when we did that.
Think you might be starting a trend in college football?
I don't know. I doubt it. Coach Spurrier, he did that. He's been doing it for a long time, man. He said it.
You said Saturday that first series is what this offense can and should look like. How confident are you going to see twice that much this week as each more along? You'll see series where the offense is exactly what it should look like.
Well, I hope so. I think as the guys mature in what we're doing and gain more confidence and we play better, I hope we have more series that look like that. I thought it wasn't just the first series. We had 3 or 4 series there early where we looked good, and a couple there late in the third quarter where I thought we were moving at a pretty good pace. But I think it'll happen more as we go.
Is it harder on you as an offensive coordinator to play with the 2 quarterbacks that way?
Yeah, it is. No, it is. It is. But that's fine. I can handle it. It just takes a little bit more preparation. Mentally, I have to be really in tune about who's in the football game as to what I'm calling. And I practice, probably get our game plans done earlier now, just because for me, I've got to practice that rotation, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, to get it down for Saturday.
How important is replicating that hot start this Saturday?
I think it's important. I think it's always important to start well. We talk about finishing, of course, but I think just as important is getting off to a good start. We got the ball first on Saturday, and we're able to go down and get a lead. And with our young guys, I think getting control of that game early, I think was really beneficial. I think it helped our defense.
Have you noticed any change in intensity, nerves in a rivalry week, especially maybe with those young guys?
Yeah, the good thing about the young guys is they don't know any better. Last week was their first home game. The week before that was their first game ever. This is their first Louisville game. They just kind of go with the flow. But it's an important game. It's our next game. We haven't spent a whole lot of time building it up. It's out there. Everybody in their classes are talking about it. Their families are talking about it. So they realize the importance. I don't think they're going to approach the game any different than they have. Well, they better approach it better than they did the first one, but I don't think they're going to approach it any different than the second.
Max threw the ball 50 times against Louisville last year. How much of that game have you watched, or will you watch?
I've watched bits and pieces of it. Not as much this week. I watched more of it when I was evaluating it back in the spring.
What do you see from Louisville secondary that makes teams throw against them so much?
Well, I think the reason people throw is because they get behind. Their secondary is as good as anybody in the country. They played a lot of snaps back there together. I think several of them are going to play in the NFL. I think the people throwing, I wouldn't take that as their secondary as a weakness, because it's definitely not. It's probably as good as anybody in the country. I think most of the time what happens is they get ahead in games, and people try to throw to catch back up.
Do you like Toth at the center spot, and what do you like about him there?
Well, I think he's more athletic. He's longer. He played well on Saturday. For a kid going out and making his first start, I thought he did some good things. Obviously, the competition cranks up this week.
Do you put, critical is not the right word, how important it is to get on the board early, because Ohio and Eastern haven't scored in the first half. There's like 7 punts, 2 interceptions. Nobody's done anything against that defense. Can you kind of rock them a little bit if you put up one time early?
I don't know about rocking. I mean, they're a veteran group. Great, they got a great defensive staff over there led by Charlie Strong, so I don't think they're going to get rocked. It'd be beneficial to us, no question, if we could score early and have success early.
When you hear that defense only allows 7 points a game, I mean, does that motivate an offense to?
I didn't even know that until y'all told me that. Now, they've been good. I mean, they played really good defense, especially at the end of the year last year, and which is to be expected. I mean, if you look at Coach Strong's track record, where he's at Florida and South Carolina, even that far back, man, they've always played good defense. The thing that sticks out about their defense is when you turn it on, they fly to the football. They play with a lot of energy, a lot of passion. They're physical and they fly to the football. They play like a defense, like if I was coaching defense, that's how I want my guys to play, because they are really into the game. What we've got to do is we've got to come out and match that intensity.
When you look back on film, what did you see as far as tempo in the last game, and what do you still want to see as far as tempo?
Yeah, well, I thought we came out of the blocks and played with a lot of tempo. And I thought in the middle of the second quarter, early in the third quarter, I thought that we didn't play as fast. We didn't have the same sense of urgency. I want to play with a sense of urgency all the time, regardless of the score. And that's why I got after these guys pretty good at halftime, just because I felt like we had a letdown. And even though that game was in hand, we're preparing for the rest of the season. So we've got to play with more tempo. That's something we stressed this week in practice. I think it gives us a chance. I think it gives us a chance, especially in the second and fourth quarter, against really good teams.